Just talk about your initial reaction to the University of Minnesota being ranked tied for number 6 in the preseason top 25 rankings.
Sure. Well, the obvious answer is that preseason rankings don't score points. You have to actually go out and beat people to be ranked. But having said that, it's I think a testimony to the program, the way people feel about it, not only locally but around the country. And I think it's gratifying to everybody involved to know that we have that kind of attention. And now we've got to see if we can live up to it.
And just kind of follow up on that question, for the Big Ten, they had 3 teams in the top 7. Penn State obviously remaining at number 1, and you guys in Illinois tied at 6th, and Michigan coming in at 12. So 4 teams in the top 12, 3 in the top 7. Just talk about what that means competitively for the conference, top to bottom.
Well, I think it means that, as it has meant for a long time, that there really is no easy road, no easy path through and out of the Big Ten into the NCAA tournament. You have to play and beat some very, very good teams. And I won't be surprised to see some other Big Ten teams who might right now lie on the outskirts of the receiving votes category win their way up into the top 25 before the season's over. I think this is going to be a very strong year for the Big Ten Conference.
And finally, we've talked about the non-conference schedule, but San Diego, Northern Iowa, and Dayton all sit in the top 25. You've got UC Santa Barbara, you've got Baylor, and you've got San Diego State all getting votes. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, not the fact that maybe those teams aren't in the top 5 or top 10, but all teams that are really kind of on an upswing and a really tough schedule.
Yeah, not only are they on an upswing, but I think all of them, seems to me anyway, like scheduling us because we're one of the teams they can knock off to climb up into the top 25 themselves, or if they're already in the top 25 to climb higher. It's I think anyway a very demanding schedule that we're going to have to be fully prepared for if we're to get out of that alive, shall we say. That tournament we have here, the Diet Coke Classic with Northern Iowa, Dayton, and Baylor, it probably is one of the strongest fields of any tournament in the country in the fall.
And finally, just talk about, when you've had teams that have started off this high and when you've had teams that start off a little bit more off the radar, just talk about playing as a team, like you said, maybe with that target on your back, where a lot of people know you went to the Final Four last year and a lot of people scheduled you to try to move themselves up in the rankings.
Yeah, we face that a lot. I think a lot of teams that are traditionally top 10 teams face that issue of having to go out and play against somebody who is just preparing madly to knock you off. But I think that goes with the territory of trying to excel. I think the teams that we play, even with playing them here in the Diet Coke Classic here in the Sports Pavilion, where we've been very good, I think all 3 of those teams are going to take us to the wall. It's going to be a good test to see if we can match the intensity I know those teams are going to bring.